Where have you been?
Out.
Out. You didn't see my calls?
And who are you to question me?
I am your husband. And I deserve some respect.
Husband? How cute. Do you mind just reminding me what the word husband means to you? Well, this is my house, and I come and go as I please. Find yourself a job and get busy like other men.
Elsie. I'm not done talking to Elsie! Elsie!
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl Talk with Persh, and today I bring you a new video. Now the name of this movie is called Beyond Wealth, and this movie is starring Clinton Joshua, Miwa Olorunfemi, Patricia Charles, Ralph Ikechukwu, Treasure Ene, Oluchi Nwabuzo, Ekene Andrew, alongside other amazing actors, actresses, and the entire cast and crew. Now let's get into this movie. Now, this movie is a very dicey topic because it takes on like different shapes. It's not really as it always seems in the movie. In reality, it can take on like another different shape. Now, let's talk based on this movie first of all. Now, in the movie, Clinton Joshua is married to the love of his life, Miwa Olorunfemi, who is Elsie. And before they got married or before their wedding day, everything was good. They were so much in love. They loved and like enjoyed each other's company. But then things started to take a different turn starting from their wedding day. Yes. On the wedding day, we saw Elsie being all arrogant, being all rude and authoritative, even when she was talking to her husband on that particular day. She was being somewhat like a sports brat. And when I watched that scene, I was like, okay, didn't Clinton Joshua see these signs before he decided to say he was going to get married to this lady? But then he in the course of the movie, we got to understand that she wasn't really like this. This her character started immediately they were to get married. Now, her character stemmed from the fear that um she didn't want Clinton Joshua, who at that time was not working, she didn't want him to just come in and take over like her father's company and everything. She had this fear that if he comes in and he starts seeing all this money with working with her father's company, that he would change, he would start cheating on her and all that. And because of that, she turned to a whole new beast. Now, in most Nigerian homes, we actually find things like this happening whereby the husband is out of a job and the wife has to like carry like the family responsibility. It is a given in especially in most Nigerian homes. I can say this because I have seen it happening in a lot of Nigerian homes. I have heard it happening in a lot of Nigerian homes that for a period of time, for years, the woman of the family might be the one carrying the responsibility. And the funny thing is, you would never know. Yes, some I give kudos to some Nigerian women. I have heard of women who have for years. We're not talking of like 2 years. We're talking of like 5 years. We're talking of like 10 years. They've been the one carrying their family responsibilities, but you would never know. You will never even see them complaining. You would never hear them insulting their husbands or anything. But this was not the case for Clinton and Miwa. Now, why this movie? When I was watching this movie, I got annoyed at some points because I was like, this is totally ridiculous. Now, Clinton Joshua obviously didn't have a job. Miwa had a job, okay, because she was obviously working for her father's company. Her father was like a conglomerate, he's a very rich man. So obviously, she had the opportunity of saying, okay, dad, fix my husband somewhere, or dad, you have all these contacts, help my husband get a job somewhere. But she didn't do that. Instead, this lady kept on ridiculing her husband. For every single time, she would remind him that he was unemployed. For every single time, she would remind him that he wasn't the one taking care of the family. For every single time, she would remind him that she was feeding him. Down to she was even disrespectful to this guy in the presence of their staff. I feel like there is nothing as see, there is nothing like as bad as you disrespecting your spouse in front of outsiders. If you do it even when two of you are alone, Okwim Nedi. Sorry, the Igbo side of me had to come outside. Like it will be, as in, I don't know how to explain it in English. If you are Igbo, thankfully you will understand what I just said. But for you to do it in the eyes of outsiders, it is disrespectful to another whole new level. And she threw caution to the wind. She would disrespect him in front of their staff. She would disrespect him in front of their friends. It was just so ridiculous. And truth be told, there is a limit to what anybody can take, any man, any woman can take. And on one of such occasions, she was being disrespectful to him, and he just like shoved her aside, like, I can't have this conversation, shoved her aside. And do you know what this lady did? She called her mom and told her mom that her husband, who was called St. Joshua, beat her up. Now, you would think her mom would be like the adults to ask, okay, what happened, what led to this situation. Instead, no, the mom went to call army to come and pick him up and to beat him in the barracks. And at that point, I was like, nah, okay, parents, sometimes you also lead to the breakup of your children's marriage because you absolutely you tend to listen to every whim of your child but not asking questions. Yes, and I liked the fact that in this movie, when the dad found out, he obviously he knows his child and he knows his wife. He told them to bring him out from like where they kept him and everything. But another part I didn't like was I feel like the father was not firm enough. Yes, if the father was firm in his words, some certain things that happened in this movie would not have happened because obviously the father could see that his child was the problem, but he wasn't able to like stand on his word and be like, come, this thing you're doing is silly, this thing you're doing is arrogant. And that is one thing I feel like parents should do much more. In as much as you love your child, you should also be able to stand up and tell your child when your child is being like ridiculous. Yes. Now, another thing I liked about this movie was the fact that in as much as these two couples, the wife was being ridiculous, obviously, they had good friends. And when I talk of good friends, I talk of people that when they see you being ridiculous, they will call you out on your bullshit. They will call you out and tell you, you see this thing that you're just doing now, it makes no sense. It is wrong. And that's something I think that a lot of people lack. A lot of people have people pleasers as friends. People that cannot come out to say, okay, this thing you're doing is wrong. And if you have a people pleaser as your friend, one day when the table turns around, you will find out that you have nobody at all. Yes. So I like the fact that they had good friends, and even when Clinton Joshua had the opportunity to like go out of his marriage, he met another like mutual friend of theirs who helped him get a job and everything, and he had the opportunity to actually go out with that girl. His friend, his very good friend, kept on telling him that see the devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. Just try and work out things with your wife. Your wife seems sorry, and even Miwa's friend was also telling her like you don't need to be rude to your husband. You need to be nicer to your husband. You need to treat your husband well. She even helped her in so many ways, taught her how to cook, taught her how to do like small chores in the house and others. So please try as much as possible to have good friends. And one more thing for single girls. Don't try to spoil somebody's marriage. Yes, the person might be having issues in their marriage, but don't trick your head unless the person is totally off, and don't be the reason why a man leaves his marriage to come to you because the hand will flog Peter go flog Paul. And you, the girl, you might be thinking, oh, you're the savior of the universe, you're the savior of the world, but at the same time, would you also be able to stand and withstand all that? Yes, in this case, let's be sincere. If Clinton had actually moved to that other girl, their marriage might have worked because obviously now he has a job and everything. But what makes you think that this girl will not also turn around and rub the fact that she got a job for him in his face at every occasion and all that? Just saying though. So guys, let me know what you guys think about this movie in the comment section, okay? And don't forget, if you want to watch this movie, head over to Uchenna on Banubo TV to watch the movie. Okay, the movie has lots of lessons to learn. Okay, and I feel it's a good one. And I also like the fact that they are now giving like Clinton Joshua more mature rules. Normally, when you see him, he's always the lover boy, young boy, lover boy. But now he's all around acting the married man and then all that, and it's so cute to see. Okay, so guys, this is where I have to stop, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.